You have probably seen the headlines.
Protests have erupted in Tehran after
But what is happening right now is not just another protest cycle. It is not just anger in the streets. It is not just unrest. It is something deeper, something structural. Iran is colliding with its own limits. It began quietly, not with slogans, not with marches, but with money. Or more accurately, the lack of it. In late December, shopkeepers in Tehran's Grand Bazaar closed their stalls. They locked their doors, and they walked away. This is rare. The reason was simple. Iran's currency collapsed again, this time to a level that felt unreal. More than 1.4 million rials for a single US dollar. Savings disappeared, prices exploded, basic food became unaffordable. For millions of Iranians, survival stopped feeling guaranteed. And when survival becomes uncertain, silence does not last. The anger spread from Tehran to other cities, to smaller towns, places that rarely make international news. Soon protests were reported across most of the country. This was not one group, not one generation. Students, workers, shopkeepers, families, different people, same frustration, exhaustion with inflation, exhaustion with corruption, exhaustion with a system that keeps asking for patience, while offering nothing in return. Iran has seen protests before, but this moment feels different, not louder, not more dramatic, heavier. The government responded as it always does. Warnings, arrests, force. Security forces move fast. Tear gas filled streets. Live ammunition was reported in multiple cities. Hospitals were raided. Wounded protesters were detained. Dozens were killed. Thousands were arrested. Exact numbers are unclear. That is intentional. Because when control begins to slip, information becomes dangerous. And then the internet goes dark. Connections dropped. Messages failed. Social media vanished. Families lost contact. Protesters lost coordination. The outside world lost visibility. In the modern age, cutting the internet is the closest thing to erasing reality. But anger does not disappear in silence. It concentrates. What is driving this unrest is not only repression, it is economics. Iran's economy has been deteriorating for years. Sanctions, mismanagement, isolation, oil revenues restricted, foreign investment frozen, inflation became permanent, and daily life became a struggle. The government tried to respond. A cash subsidy was announced. $7 a month. $7. For many Iranians, this was not help. It was an insult. Because the crisis is no longer only economic. It is about legitimacy, about whether the system still speaks for the people it governs. For years, many accepted hardship because change felt impossible. That belief is fading. The chants have changed. They no longer focus only on leaders. They question the entire structure, the priorities, the future. When a government loses the argument in the public imagination, force becomes its primary language. But force has limits. There is another reason this moment matters. The people protesting are not the usual faces. This is not only students, not only activists. Bazaar merchants are involved, traditionally cautious, historically conservative. When they move, something is wrong, because the economic backbone of society is cracking. That frightens the state. Outside Iran, reactions are cautious, statements, condemnations, calls for restraint, but no decisive action, because Iran is not just a country. It is a regional fault line. Pressure it too hard, and everything shakes. The government blames foreign interference. It always does. It is convenient. Because if unrest is external, reform is unnecessary. Only suppression is required. But this unrest is domestic, rooted in daily life, in empty wallets, in lost futures. So what happens next? No one knows. not protesters, not the government, not the outside world. History rarely announces its turning points in advance. But one thing is clear: Iran is not stable. It is suspended. Between repression and rupture, between survival and transformation. This may not be a revolution, not yet, but it is a reckoning. And whether it ends in reform, or force, or something unexpected, Iran will not return to what it was. Because once belief collapses, control becomes temporary.